I hear you now. Thank you for coming, Mr. Costell.
Yes, my name is Ira Costell. I'm a resident of Brookhaven town for over 55 years. Visiting this issue is not a new thing, and it'll be hard for me to speak intelligently in just a brief 3 minutes of time, given that so many other speakers have touched on important subjects. But one thing in particular that's making it difficult for me to speak as articulately as I'd like to is the lack of awareness of this particular scoping session. I think there was a poor job done to inform the general public in a much more meaningful way. This is a critical and important issue to this township and to its residents. In particular, it's not a new issue. In the 1980s, in the early 1980s, when I came out of graduate school from environmental planning at the University of North Carolina, it was clear then to many of our residents that the financial sustainability of the town of Brookhaven was built on a house of cards, constructed by mortgage recording taxes, which were booming at the time in the go-go 80s, and the landfill. It's been known for a very long time that this is the underpinning of the financial sustainability of this town. So it is incumbent upon this town to identify why we are now going to continue our thirst and hunger for other people's garbage to continue our financial well-being and health in the future. So I think we need to identify other resource streams of financing so that we are not dependent on feeding our landfill now with an ash fill, because we've been obliged to close the existing one, which should have never been expanded back originally. In addition to that, I don't know enough, to be honest. I haven't been able to study the documents, but I dare say that this area is either within or very nearby a special groundwater protection area, as well as possibly the central CEA, critical environmental area. So it is really a very pivotal location. I like what the doctor had to say previous to me, which is we're segmenting this thing out as if it's a whole new project instead of combining the entirety of a master plan about what we're doing. Because once we close the landfill, whenever that may be, 2024, before or after, and I apologize about the glare on my glasses, off the top of my receding hairline, but nonetheless, we need to understand how is more carefully, more clearly, how this integrates into the existing landfill. And once it's closed, doesn't mean it goes away. We still have to manage it, right? And that's why it is a contiguous area that should be planned for as a whole. And stop this game of trying to segment it out so that we don't have to involve the DEC in the same fashion as if we were expanding the landfill. I'm concerned about particulate matter in the air. I'll finish up with this. In two important comments. One, concerned about particulate matter, of course, but the other thing is nobody has said a word that I'm aware of where the construction and demolition debris is going to go once the landfill is closed. I've not heard nary a word about that. Nobody's addressed it. Nobody's commented on it. The landfill closes, but where does the C&D waste go? Okay, who gets it? And also, we've always, for 40 years, that I've been talking about a regional compact for dealing with garbage, and we've never really cooperated through multiple townships and through the counties, and that really ought to be done. I'm concerned also about the plant that you're talking about, constructing and recycling some of the ash waste into new products. I'd like to know what those are, what they're anticipating to do with those 4 acres where they're setting up, I believe, some type of plant to utilize the ash to construct new products. And that needs to be clearly delineated to the township and its residents. Again, I'd like to know more, and I wish I'd had more time to prepare. I found out about it 20 minutes ago.
Okay, well, Mr. Costell, we're really happy that you did get to us to give us your comments. There is the website where all the documents are available. I consider checking that out. And we do have a 30-day open written comment period. So anything else that you'd like to supply, if you do get a chance to review the documents, we'll be happy to take those comments, in the next 30 days. So thank you very much for coming out. We're glad you made it here. Thank you.